Hello everybody and welcome back to Blue Jay Acres. Thank you so much for hanging in there for us while we were trying to get on the mend. We're still not feeling great, as you can see. I have like bags under my bags, but we're still hanging in there. We're still fighting this. Everybody has said it takes like 2 to 3 weeks to get through this thing. So we're going into week 2 and hopefully it will end soon. All right, but I actually filmed this for you guys yesterday. So I'm gonna pop my face in for this video just to say hello and welcome back. And we're gonna do a full day of budget meals, what we're eating on a tight budget. We're gonna continue with that. So here is breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I'll see you at the end. Okay, we're gonna start with preheating our oven to 425 degrees. All right, so this morning we are gonna make some lemon scones. So we are gonna start with 2.5 cups of flour. A cup of sugar. 1 tablespoon of baking powder. I can get a tablespoon in there. A 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then I'm just gonna stir this together. Okay, and then it says to add butter, but I am out except for the little bit that I have sitting out. So I'm gonna use lard instead, but you would use butter. Calls for about 12 tablespoons of cold butter, because we're just gonna kind of cut it in like you do with biscuits. That I'm just going to use my hands and cut that in. Then in a separate bowl, I'm going to add 1 egg, the zest of a lemon, then we're going to add 1/2 cup of milk. And some vanilla. And then we're going to just stir this all together. And then we're going to add that to our dry. Okay. We're going to form this into a ball. I'm just trying to get it mixed. Okay, and then in just a parchment paper lined, I just have this reusable parchment paper. I'm just gonna kind of pat it out. And then I'm just gonna cut this. And then I'm just going to kind of spread it out a little bit just to give them room to rise. Okay, and these are going to bake for about 12 to 14 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to let these sit here now to cool off before we ice them. They need to be completely cool. Okay, so to go with this, we're going to make a chai smoothie. So I'm just going to add some frozen banana in here. Okay, to that, I'm going to add some almond milk. I have 4 dates here, but you could use like just maple syrup, coconut sugar. Just if you're using dates, make sure you take off the cap. Make sure you take out the seed in the middle and the little cap if they have it. I'm also going to add a piece of crystallized ginger. Not necessary, but adds a little bit of chunky ginger to it. I'm going to add some vanilla. I'm going to add some unsweetened cocoa powder. Then I'm going to add some ground ginger, some cinnamon, a little ground cardamom, a little bit of nutmeg, and a little bit of cloves, just a little. And then we're going to mix this up. Okay, next I'm going to make the glaze to go with the scones. Yes, honey, I'm getting you breakfast in just a second. I am just doing lemon juice. Get these seeds out. I'm just doing lemon juice and the powdered sugar. You could add some lemon zest to this or a little vanilla. I'll just stir it together. I need more. If you didn't want to make it lemony, you could just add a little bit of milk to the powdered sugar. That would work too. Perfect. Now I'm just going to ice our scones, and then we're going to let this sit for a few minutes, just kind of let the icing harden just a little bit. Okay, so here is the breakfast. You can see the scone. It'd be pretty if I grated a little bit of lemon peel on top. And then the chai smoothie. Now we'll see how Charles likes it. These are not his favorite flavors. However, this is mine and Kate's. This is like our favorite kind of food right here. We'll see what Charles thinks. Okay, so I brought it up to him, but he was in the middle of a meeting.
I was.
So he ate it all. So now.
The good thing with these headphones is it's easy to like put it up and eat and then lower it and then put it back up again. It was awesome. I ate it while I was in my meeting.
So I said it wasn't really your jam, but you liked it?
I didn't say jam.
Don't be smart.
Was there jam in it?
Did you like it or not? Yay or nay?
Good. It was good. I didn't care so much for the smoothie.
I told you guys, it's a chai smoothie. I didn't think you would because
Yeah,
it's full of ginger.
It had a little bit of grit going on in it.
That's the chunky ginger.
Oh, that's probably what it was.
But you drank it all.
I did.
Good boy.
It's empty.
And what about the scone?
That's pretty good. A little lemony.
Very lemony.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Kind of tasted like, Pledge. Kind of Pledge you grew up with.
Every time I make something lemony, he says, tastes like furniture polish. I want to know when you ever ate furniture polish to know what it tastes like.
Trust me, you don't have to eat. The original Pledge, you don't have to eat Pledge to know what it's going to taste like, because that's a strong
You're just not a lemon fan. I'm a lemon lover.
Come on, anybody that grew up using Pledge to clean their furniture, chime in. You know it. You smell it, you taste it.
All right, we'll see you at lunch. Okay, we're gonna start with making some breadsticks to go with dinner and lunch. So there is 1 1/4 cups of warm water. I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then I'm gonna do 2 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. I'm just using dry active yeast. And we're gonna let that sit for about 5 minutes until it gets nice and bubbly. So now you would add a couple tablespoons of melted butter. I am out of butter, so I am replacing lard for the next couple days with anything that I need butter. Just because until I go pick up my dairy, I won't have any butter. I'm also gonna add a tablespoon of salt. And I'm going to start with 4 cups of flour. Okay, so now I've got this cookie sheet lined up with some parchment paper, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to roll them into sticks so that they're breadstick size. And then I'm just going to lay them here. Okay, once they're all rolled out, we're gonna let them sit for about, cover them and let them rise for about 45 minutes. So I'm gonna set this in the oven so it is free of any kind of drafts or anything, but the oven is not on, just to help it rise. While that's rising, I'm gonna go on and get my veggies ready and start the soup. So I'm gonna start with just some carrot. I just have 2 carrots here that I peeled, and I'm just going to chop them. And then a couple of these bigger pieces, I'm just going to go on and cut in half. That should be good. And the pigs will probably get these. Then I also want to go on and chop up some onion. this recipe for the soup that we're calling for does call for cheese, like Parmesan cheese. I just don't have any. And I'm cutting the onions this way because the size doesn't really matter, that they're finely diced. And they're really small. And I also have one of these Polish sausages. And I'm gonna dice that as well. Just kind of cut it into chunks. Okay, and then over here, I'm gonna, on high, heat up some oil. We are also gonna add a can of Great Northern beans. I'm just gonna rinse this real quick and drain it. And then we're gonna start adding our carrots and our onion. A little bit of the meat's going in too. It's all right. I'll add the rest of the meat here in just a few minutes. I'm gonna add some salt. And some pepper. I'm just going to saute these for a few minutes. So now I'm going to add the rest of the meat in. And we're just keeping this just a real simple soup. You could add more to it if you wanted. Okay, now I'm going to add some garlic. So next you're going to add some chicken bouillon, but I only have, chicken broth, but I only have chicken bouillon. So I'm just going to add a bunch of water. It was a little over 4 cups. And then I'm just going to use some chicken bouillon powder. And stir that all together. I'm also going to add my can of beans. And I'm going to add a bay leaf. Also, it says to add like a chunk of fresh Parmesan. I don't have that, so I'm just going to add a little bit of this grated Parmesan, just so that it can still kind of cook and get that flavor in. And then we're going to let this just come to a boil on medium and let it cook for about 20 minutes. By the time the soup's done, it should be about time to finish our breadsticks. Okay, and then to the soup, I'm going to add some spinach. And I'm just going to cook that and let that wilt down for a minute.
Do you know where, oh, there it is.
Sign out of me and sign into your own. Okay, so to make a little topping to go on the breadsticks, you would use melted butter, but again, I'm out. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this Parmesan cheese, and I'm using lard for that. And then I'm gonna add some garlic powder, oregano, and some salt. Then I'm just gonna stir this all together. This is gonna be what I'm gonna top the breadsticks with. We'll brush a little bit of this on and then we'll bake them. Okay, I'm going to preheat my oven to 400 degrees. These didn't rise very good, but that's all right. I need to heat this up a little bit too. All right. Okay, so now I'm gonna just brush tops of each of these breadsticks. They didn't get very big, but you know, it's okay. It's just lunch. And then we're gonna bake these for about 12 to 14 minutes. I'm gonna pop these in the oven. All right, so here is the soup. He's gonna taste test it real quick because he's got a meeting that's gonna start and he won't have time to wait for the breadsticks to taste test.
I test this against my better judgment. I'm just teasing.
He picked up a piece of meat. That's it. If anybody's husband is a big baby, let me know, because mine definitely is when it comes to food.
Hey, you know what? I like what I like.
You like anything I make, I'll eat it.
Flavor's good. It's a little watery, but flavor's good. But that's okay, because the watery, not my crackers.
That's gonna ruin that good soup with crackers.
Oh, the flavor's good.
He'll eat it, folks, trust me. But for all us sick people, soup is where it's at. Okay, so here are the breadsticks. Just came out of the oven. I'll Charles try that for you as well. All right, he's gonna try the...
Ooh, watch the heat escape.
I don't know if they can pick that up or not. But we're ready to eat. I think they turned out very good. Butter would definitely be better on top to give that buttery flavor. But I think it turned out really good.
This kind of reminds me of when you get a really good like pizza dough crust on the outside that's really fluffy and light. That's kind of what this one reminds me of, but I mean, it's fantastic either way.
There you go, folks. Okay, now it is time to get ready for dinner. So, I'm gonna take a chicken and I'm just gonna cut the backbone out. Still a little bit frozen in here. Then I'm just gonna flip this over. I'm just gonna push it down. Okay, here I'm gonna toss this with some olive oil. My oven is set at 375. This is just some poultry seasoning. I'm gonna keep it super simple. I'm gonna just add a little bit of water in here. And then I like to add just a little bit of the chicken bouillon powder. Then I'm just gonna add in some onions. Add in some carrot. Some celery. Some garlic. And then just some salt and pepper. And then I'm just going to cover this and bake this at 375. In about 30 minutes, I'll take the foil off and let it brown up really good on top. There you go. And I'm just, like I said, peeling these. So one of the questions that I got was, where did I learn how to cook? How did I even start cooking so much from scratch? Honestly, I taught myself how to cook, my grandma a little bit by watching her. I just always loved it. And the place that I go to for recipes and have always gone to is Vintage Recipes, because they're just, I think they're the best recipes. So I do have a box of vintage recipes that my grandmother gave me when she passed away, and that is one of my main go-tos. It's newspaper clippings, it's all kinds of special recipes from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s mostly, and they're very cherished. Another question I got that I need your guys' help with answering is, where would you begin wanting to cook from scratch? Like, where is the place to begin so you don't get discouraged, you don't just want to quit? What's like a good place to start? And I say that varies for everybody and what you like to eat. For me, I think the simplest things to start, just start making from scratch if you are wanting to get more into cooking from scratch, is things like pancakes, waffles. Those are definitely beginner level. Muffins. They're very simple to make. They don't take a lot of time, and I don't think that you would get too frustrated with that. Of course, I'm a big fan of making your own bread, but I know that one can get frustrating for some. Obviously, cookies, cakes, brownies, any of the dessert kind of stuff is an easy one to to transition out of box stuff for. But I would say start with breakfast foods. I'm gonna add some of this vanilla powder. I'm gonna add some brown sugar. It looks like tomorrow, you guys, we'll make brown sugar together. Some of you have been asking about that as well. I'm gonna add some cinnamon. And a little bit of salt. And this is ready to go in the oven. Okay, so here is the chicken, asparagus, potatoes, sweet potatoes, and we still have some breadsticks. So I will get Charles. Okay, so here is Charles's plate. And yes, he will get more of whatever he wants. That's what he's gonna try for you guys. All right, it's time for you to try dinner.
Well, I already know the breadsticks are really good because we had those for lunch.
Yes.
So, I love carrots. I'm gonna start with carrot.
They're hot. I know, now you tell me. I just popped them out of the oven.
I kind of expected it, you know.
He always acts so surprised that it tastes good. Oh, it's asparagus. You like asparagus pine.
It just tastes like asparagus.
Yeah.
Oh, nope, I got a little seasoning on that one. Right at the end. It was good. Tender. Juicy.
He's ready to go eat.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Thumbs up.
All right, there you have it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope all of you guys have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.